Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to be carrying on with our colour along in Johanna Basford's book. So I think we'll go ahead and do this one today. So I'm going to continue with the Arteza pencils. So I'll get zoomed in and we'll get started. Okay, so first going in with Fuchsia 404, I'm going to make a start on this rainbow. So I'm going to do the end one in pink. So I'm going to use normal pressure and start to fill in the edges of the rainbow. And then I'm going to switch to lighter pressure in the middle so that the middle is going to be the lightest part. Then going in with our white pencil, I'm going to use normal pressure and go ahead and blend out that middle section. Then swap into purple iris. I'm going to do the same for the next section of the rainbow. So normal pressure at the bottom. And then lift off the pressure in the middle. Back in with our white pencil, go ahead and blend the middle section. Then taking Egyptian blue, I'm going to do the same for the next section. And then we'll use apple green to do the next one. Make sure you've got the blue off your pencil before you blend the green. Then pumpkin orange for the next row. And then lemon yellow for the next one. So again, just normal pressure at the edges and light pressure in the middle. And for the last one, I'm going to go back in with fuchsia and do this the bottom one so it matches the top. Okay, so that's our little rainbow completed. So next I'm going to move on to the tree, and I'm going to go in with raw umber and do a light base coat on the base of the tree, so the trunk. So just light pressure, I'm going to start to add this colour in. Then switch into dark chocolate brown. I'm going to add some shade in. So I'm going to start by darkening up where it meets the trees, because that would cast a bit of a shadow. So I'll just use normal pressure and then lift off as you come down. Do the same for all of these little pieces where it goes into the tree. Then we'll add a little bit of shade here where the little join is. So I'm just using lighter pressure for this. And the same here. And again here we'll just use light pressure but add a little bit of colour in. And then I'm going to darken up the base, so I'm going to use normal pressure at the bottom. and then lift off as you come up. Then going back in with raw umber, I'm going to use normal pressure and go ahead and fill this in properly. So I'm going to take it over the darker brown as well to work on the blend. Then I'm going to go back in with apple green and I'm going to do a base coat on the top of the tree. So just light pressure and fill this in. Then taking emerald green, we're going to add some shade in. So I'm going to start by darkening up around the sort of trunks. So just normal pressure around here. And we'll do the same for this one. So I'm just going to go in with normal pressure first and sort of mark out the shadow, and then we'll go back in and work on blending it out with adding some lighter pressure afterwards. I'm going to add some shadow here, so normal pressure. And here where you can see the join. We'll do some here and down here. And we'll add some to this line here too, so just normal pressure there. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of normal pressure here by the side of the house. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in now and start lifting the pressure off so that we can blend it out with the lighter green a little bit easier. And then going back in with apple green, I'm going to start to use a bit more pressure down here and see how it's looking, see if it's enough of a difference in colour. And I think that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and use normal pressure and fill this in properly. And I'll take it over where we added the darker green as well, just to work on the blend. And then I'm just going to go back in with emerald green, and I'm just going to add a little bit more colour onto our shadow just so that it stands out a little bit better. So you can always go darker, but you can't get it lighter, so always best to be careful with the darker colours. Okay, next we're going to make a start on the brickwork, and I thought it would be quite nice to do it rainbow so that it matches the colours that we've got in the rainbow. So I'm going to go back in with fuchsia, and I'm just going to go ahead and do a base coat on this square so that we can see how it's going to look. And then purple iris and Egyptian blue. Apple green, pumpkin orange, and lemon yellow. And then I'm going to rotate these, so I'll go back in with fuchsia, purple iris, Egyptian blue, apple green, pumpkin orange, lemon yellow, and just continue the pattern. Then going in with shadow grey, I'm going to go ahead and fill in all the little pieces in between the bricks. So I'm just going to use normal pressure and darken these up. And then to add some shadow in, I'm going to use shadow grey, but I'm just going to use light pressure, and I'm going to add a shadow along here from the top, and then I'm just going to randomly add some darkness into each of these bricks, just using light pressure. Then going back in with fuchsia, I'm going to use normal pressure this time and fill this in properly and see how it looks with our shadow. Do the same with purple iris. And again with Egyptian blue, normal pressure, fill this in. We'll do the same with the pumpkin orange. And again for apple green. And then going back in with lemon yellow, I'll do the same. Okay, and I'm not really liking the dark on the yellow, so I'm going to go in with pumpkin orange and just go over the shadow to see if I can sort of blend that out a little bit. Make it look a little bit different. Okay, that's a little bit better. So I'll do the same for all of the yellow squares. And then for this rim here, I'm just going to use the same colours again, so fuchsia pink, but this time I'm just going to use normal pressure and fill these in so that this is a bit brighter. Purple iris. Egyptian blue. Apple green. Pumpkin orange. Lemon yellow. And then back to fuchsia. Purple iris. Egyptian blue. Apple green. Pumpkin orange. Lemon yellow. And fuchsia for the last one. Then going in with Royal Purple 417, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the background inside here because I want this to be dark, but I don't want it to be black. So I'm going to use Royal Purple and normal pressure and fill in this section here. Then taking steel grey, I'm going to go ahead and start to fill in these steps using this grey colour. So I'm just using light pressure to get a base coat. Then taking concrete grey, 013, I'm going to start to darken these up. So I'm going to darken up just behind the line here. So just normal pressure along there. And then lift off as you come up towards the top of the step. So normal pressure there and then lift off. For these smaller ones, I'm just going to add a line of normal pressure, at the bottom. So it's just adding a line of darkness to the bottom. And we'll do a line of normal pressure at the bottom of this one. And then again, lift off as you come up. Okay, and I'm quite liking how that's looking at the moment, so I'm not going to add any more colours to that. I'm just going to leave that as it is and move on to this part of the house. Okay, and what I'm going to do is incorporate the colours that we used on the tree for the top of the house. So I'm going to go in with apple green and do a base coat on the roof. So just light pressure, add this colour in. Then taking emerald green, we'll add some shade. So I'm going to put a shadow here. So just normal pressure on this edge. And we'll add a shadow here from the chimney. And then we'll add a line of normal pressure along here from the rainbow. And then what I'm going to do is start to lift the pressure off now as we come over so that we can blend it out into the apple green. So I'll do the same everywhere that I've just added this colour. And then going back in with apple green, I'm going to take it over where we just did the shadows using normal pressure. And then I'm just going to do light pressure for these little bits that we've got left. And then going in with our white pencil, just going to use normal pressure and blend the lighter sections. And then for the house, we're going to do it to match the trunk. So I'm going to go in with a raw umber and do a light base coat on here. Then taking dark chocolate brown, we'll add some shadows in. So I'm going to darken up underneath this little roof edge here, normal pressure. And the same for this side. And then I'll lift the pressure off as you come down. For this bit, we'll add some normal pressure along where it joins to the roof. And then again, lift the pressure off to blend that out. And we'll add a little bit of shadow here and here by the bottom of the door. And again, lift off as you come up. Then going back in with raw umber, use normal pressure, blend this all together. Then going back in with steel grey, I'm going to go ahead and do a base coat on the door. So just light pressure. And then back in with concrete grey. I'm going to darken up these side pieces. And along the bottom line here of the door, and then just lift off the pressure as you come up the door. Back in with steel grey, normal pressure. I'm just going to fill that bottom bit in, and then I'm just going to go over the shadow to blend that out and leave the top part lighter. Then take in periwinkle blue. I'm going to use normal pressure, fill in the window and the little window up here. Okay, and then this part I'm going to do wooden as well. So I'll go back in with raw umber, do a base coat. And then dark chocolate brown. I'm going to use normal pressure at the edges here to darken this up. And then I'm going to run a line of normal pressure where it joins to the books. And then I'm just going to start to lift the pressure off here so that we can blend it out easier. Back in with raw umber, normal pressure, blend this out. Then going in with fuchsia, I'm going to make a start on these books. So I'm going to use normal pressure to fill in either end of the book. And a bit of normal pressure on this side. And then I'm going to use light pressure in the middle. And use the white pencil to blend that out. And then next I'm going to go in with Egyptian blue, and I'm going to do the next book down blue. So normal pressure on these edge pieces. And some normal pressure here and here. And then again, I'm going to do light pressure in the middle. And blend it with the white pencil. And then I'm going to do the same with purple iris for the last book. And then going in with a gold gel pen, I'm going to fill in these little sort of bits on the top of the house here. And I'm going to do the doorknob in gold and these little book pieces. And I'm going to do this lantern's hanging bracket in gold. And then going back in with steel grey, I'm going to start on this little chimney here. So I'm going to use normal pressure and fill this in. And then taking concrete grey, I'm going to add a little bit of shadow. So I'm going to darken up here where it joins. So just use normal pressure for that. And again under here where it joins. And then these little pieces in here would be darker. So I'll just use normal pressure and fill these in. Next, taking lemon yellow, I'm going to make a start on the little lantern here. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in the flame using normal pressure. And then I'm going to use light pressure and fill in the rest of the glass part. I'm going to use pumpkin orange and add some orange into the flame. And then taking jasmine yellow, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the candle. And then using fuchsia, I'm going to go ahead and do a base coat on the actual lantern pieces. Then taking orchid purple 407, we'll add some shading. So I'm going to darken up the bottom edge here, which is furthest away from the light, and then lift the pressure off as you come up. And again, we'll darken up the top piece and lift off as you come down. Then going back in with fuchsia, go over that and blend it all out nicely. Then taking pear green, I'm going to go ahead and fill in these little grass pieces at the bottom. So I'm just going to use normal pressure and fill these in because they're quite small. And then using purple iris, we'll fill in these little flowers. Okay, so next going in with a pencil, we're going to do our cloud outline. So I'll do the same as I did last time and just use the pencil to mark out a cloud shape. Then taking sky blue, I'm going to use this as our base colour for the background. So I'm going to use light pressure and go ahead and fill in the whole of the background using this colour and just light pressure, and then I can add some extra colours in after. but I want to do this so that I can get rid of the pencil line. So just light pressure, fill this in. Okay, and then I'm going to go in and rub out the pencil line. Okay, next going in with sapphire blue, I'm going to start to add some shade into the sky. So I'm going to start by darkening up this section here, just using normal pressure. And I'm going to do under the tree as well to add some shadow in. And then I'm just going to start to lift the pressure off as you come away. So I'll add some shadow here too, all the way along the tree. And then again, lift the pressure off to blend this out. We'll add some shadow here from the house, so normal pressure up against the house, and then again start to lift off the pressure as you come away. Darken up in between this little tree here too. And then I'll add a shadow above the rainbow, so normal pressure along here. And then again, start to lift the pressure off to blend that out. We'll add a little bit of shadow here. So normal pressure, and then again, lift off the pressure to blend it out. I think we'll take this all the way along this edge. So we'll do normal pressure along the edge, and then again lift off to blend it out. We'll add some here, normal pressure, and then again just lift off to blend it out. And then I'm just going to darken up the very bottom here using normal pressure. And then again, lift the pressure off to blend that out. I'm going to go in with jasmine yellow, and I'm just going to use light pressure but add a little bit of yellow here from this little light. Then going back in with sky blue, I'm going to use normal pressure and start to blend this out. Okay, and then here where I added the yellow, I'm going to go right up to it, but I'm going to use light pressure over it so that it stays yellow. And do the same over here. So just light pressure and just keep building the colour. Then going in with a white gel pen, I'm going to add some highlights. So I'm going to add a little one to the top here and one along this edge of the house. We'll add a little one in the window and in this window, and we'll do a tiny little one in the middle of our highlight, and we'll do the same for the rainbow. So I'll just do tiny little curved line in the middle of the rainbow, and then down here I'm going to go over the glass edge and these little lines that are coming out into the sky. I'm just going to add a few little highlights onto the bricks on this side. Okay guys, so that's our third little house complete, and this is how the page is looking so far. So I'm quite happy with the progress that we've made. So we've got one to do, this little one here, so I will film a colour along for this one as well. So stay tuned for the next video. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon.